And there's twisted love as well, because I was wondering, Rachel, who happens to be David's sister-in-law, ends up falling in love with him. I mean, I see them in some episodes where she's like super careful about him, touching him up, holding his hands. I was like, what's going on here? Is this not your sister's ex-husband? Hey movie lovers, my name is Tech the First, and before we get into this episode, I want you to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers in a month of starting this channel. We just started yesterday. This is our second episode. Yeah, I don't have a name for the show yet. I'm still figuring it out. All I know is that we're gonna be having reactions. At first, when I started, I felt like I was gonna have a female perspective to everything. Like, we'll discuss female characters, why they made the choices that they're making. But I love movies. I love them all, okay? And I want to talk about all of them, anyone I find interesting. So welcome to the show. And until we'll find a name, you know what? We can find the name together. I think we can find it together. Thoroughly enjoyed creating my first episode. If you haven't seen it, it's about the polygamist. Go check it out here. I can now point here and tell you to go check something else. So yes, go check out my review and reactions and character breakdowns of the polygamous characters. We'll be discussing a very interesting show that I just finished seeing, I Will Find You by Harlan Coben. I think I've read one of Harlan Coben's book when I was way younger, when I still actively used to read. The show is basically about David Burrows, who has been sentenced to life in prison and has been in prison for about 5 years so far. He was accused of murdering his son. Yes, his own child in his sleep. It's such a weird story because David knows he didn't do it, but he can't really prove that he didn't do it. The whole thing was set up to look like he killed his son. It was just him in the house, and the boy ended up dead, and they did some DNA test and found that this kid is actually dead. So who killed him? It must have been you. It's a story of betrayal, love, obsession. There's just so many twists and turns. It's like, who done it? Are they going to figure out who did what? And eventually, you know, it's just nothing like you would anticipate. I mean, I couldn't tell the end from the beginning. There's so many interesting characters, and let's get into them. This man who has totally given up on everything, given up on himself, does not even want to take visitors, does not even want to see anyone or have anyone look him in the eyes, decides he's going to break out of prison. And he does that. Something I want you to know is that everybody in this series is connected, because I don't know if it's a small town or if it's a big town, but for some reason, from David Burrows himself, who's the main actor, to his sister-in-law, to his father, Lenny, and the water who happens to be his father's ex-partner or ex-friend, the Mackenzies. Like, everybody is so connected in this story, which gives it a very interesting twist and turn, because so many betrayals going on. And there's twisted love as well, because I was wondering, Rachel, who happens to be David's sister-in-law, ends up falling in love with him. I mean, I see them in some episodes where she's like super careful about him, touching him up, holding his hands. I was like, what's going on here? Is this not your sister's ex-husband? But that's a very long story, because sister has moved on. She's even pregnant with another child, married to another guy who was connected to the people who wanted her husband thrown in jail in some way, shape, or form. It's pretty complicated. I don't know where this attraction got started from. Was it from when they started investigating what happened to her nephew, or has she always just had a crush on her sister's husband? They don't fully explore that detail, but in the end of the show, we kind of see them holding hands, which is like, what's going on there? I know her sister is no longer married to this man and they've broken up, but there was a time they were in love and they were together. So how do you go and start falling in love with your sister's ex? Some other characters we get to see are the Mackenzies, pretty supportive friends. Oh my gosh, I will do anything to have such friends that will literally put their careers on the line. They will put jail time on the line to try to help you. That's very rare. That's very rare amount of loyalty. My all-time favorite characters, oh my gosh, are the FBI agents. So we see Max Williams and his daughter Sarah Williams. These two people are extremely intelligent, extremely intuitive. They have a great relationship going on because now they are partners. But before they were partners, she kind of had a rough childhood where her daddy was not present. There was some emotional baggage going on there, which was super interesting to touch on. It kind of slows down towards the end, towards I think episode 5 or 6, where we realized that the first person who we thought was the bad guy was not really the bad guy. You know, he was an interesting type of bad guy, but he was not the exact bad guy. Coming back to Rachel had like a love interest, this British man who is super rich. He's helping her get away with almost everything. This man even puts up £1 million or dollars, $1 million to help her get out of jail. They kind of arrest her when she's trying to help David Burrows investigate what happened to his son, which I found, clock it. That was so unlikely, and that's what adds up to how unlikely it was at the end. Why they go through all that stress? At some point in the story, I kind of thought this child that they've kidnapped and everybody is going crazy about, and there's so much hula baloo about his situation. Maybe he has a special blood or a special power or a special this, and the government wants something with him, and that's why like people will go through hoops and this to like kidnap him and set up his father as his murderer. So I won't say the end was like so, but it was a pretty intriguing show. I watched it in one session as well, like from start to finish. I will find you on Netflix if you're looking for something to binge watch, some entertaining show to binge watch that will not disappoint you. My rating for the show is about 7/10, just cause like I love the pacing of the show. I love the storytelling. I love the mystery behind every scene, and I love the resolution. Tell me what you feel in the comments. My name is Tech the First. We're still looking for a name of the show and the structure of the entire thing and how we should go. Do we want to make this more of a character breakdown, or do we want to make it a review or a recap channel, or should we do like a bunch of all this? Recap, review, character breakdown, reactions. I want to see your suggestions in the comments. Tell me what was your most interesting part of the story.